Hello Internet, my name is Persephone and welcome to my channel. In today's video, we're essentially updating a video I did months ago, that thanks to Dragonflight can be significantly more efficient. That's my video on speed druids. In my original video, we went over how to set up a level 50 speed druid. Thanks to Dragonflight dropping in changes to scaling and item availability, the new meta is 61, and we will be going over exactly what to do to your character to maximize that. First things first, you will need a level 61 feral druid. For Horde, your only real choice is Zandalari for the extra 5% speed from their racial Embrace of the Loa, in which you take the Gonk buff from the Shrine in Zuldazar. On Alliance, your best choice is Night Elf, as they have the Quickness racial for an extra 2% movement speed. In my last video, I was not aware of this racial, and I incorrectly told people to pick Worgen for the Darkflight cooldown, which is still a cool buff, but does not compare to 2% flat speed. As far as talents go, make sure you have Feline Swiftness, Tireless Pursuit, Tiger Dash, Forest Walk, Stampeding Roar, and Improved Stampeding Roar in the main Druid tree. On the Feral specific tree, you want to make sure you pick Lunar Inspiration so you can cast Moonfire in cat form, and Predatory Swiftness so you can occasionally get a regrowth in cat form for the boost to speed. It is not necessary, but I suggest picking Incarnation down at the bottom, especially if you are not a Night Elf, as it gives you the ability every 3 minutes to cast Prowl in combat, getting you out of combat in situations where you've lost track of a mob or are stuck with an evade bugging one, etc. Gearing starts the same way it has since BFA. Acquire your Heart of Azeroth and find 3 pieces with Longstrider on it. Those pieces will specifically be from normal BFA dungeons, as thanks to Chromie Time, those now scale to level 60, while Heroic and Mythic stop scaling at 50, so you get more speed per item from the normal ones. The items are the Flash Powder Hood from TLDR, Gold Tasseled Epaulets from Freehold, and Venture Company Plenipotentiary Vest from Motherlode. At level 61, you will need a friend to run you through, though, which adds a bit of trickiness to completing this. The only bad one is TLDR, as Motherlode and Freehold are both completable by skipping all but the last boss and a handful of trash mobs. I suggest doing TLDR second if you plan on farming them all up at once, as the other 2 are both really short and you're likely to hit dungeon cap quickly while seeking the items. Point of note, to get Azerite pieces to drop, you need to have obtained the Heart of Azeroth, so make sure your friend brings a character that's completed the short quest chain to speed up the process so they can trade them to you if they happen to get them to drop. The next chunk of gear comes from Shadowlands Crafted. You want a cloak from a tailor, 2 rings from jewel crafters, a wrist, glove, belts, and pants from a leatherworker, all with speed added to them with the Pure Air Sail extensions, and Crafter's Mark 4. One item can also get a Crafter's Mark of the first ones, making a 262 item, and the biggest bang for the buck is to get that added to pants. If you can't find a crafter, a lot of servers these days will just have them available on the auction house. Though some people are charging crazy prices, so be careful for that. Try to prioritize pieces with crit on them. If you're getting them crafted, add a missive of Critical Strike. If you're buying from the auction house, check for crit items. The next big piece is boots. You want literally any level 50 or lower boots. Speed or crit could be helpful, but 100% not necessary. You just need to be able to add the enchant boots, minor speed on them. Check your auction house, you can find them for literally pennies. Your weapon is not technically important, but if you're able to, a random green with speed and or crit on it in the 200 eye level range will be sufficient. The last part of gearing is trinkets, and what trinkets you should target is completely up to how well you did gearing in the other slots. At level 61, there is a crit cap of 570 and a speed cap of 1100. So if you have 570 crit, you have maxed out the need for crit in your slots and can try to find plus speed gear. But if you already have at least 471 speed, the need for extra speed at that point is also unnecessary. You can, however, get the items anyway, and the easiest way to get one or both of the stats on your trinkets is the level 60 green trinkets from Dragonflight. The Stonewatcher's trinkets have a large amount of single secondaries on them, so finding any of them with crit could balance out not having the crafted gear with missives of crit on them, and you can use 2 of them if necessary. They can also roll tertiary stats, so if you want/need extra speed, they are a great place to look. Once you have the gear, you're probably already crit capped and above the necessary speed to cap with the consumable, but you can easily throw a few enchants on for a little bit of extra oomph. For cloak, add a rid of speed. For chest, add accelerated agility. Bracers get rid of speed. Boots should already have the minor speed on them. Rings can get crit enchants. Weapon has a few options. Wafting Rid or Devotion are good for speed, or basically any enchant that does damage if you want. You'll also want to add Straddling Viridium and Straddling Sage Agate to the 2 sockets on the rings. Professions are user's choice. You'll want one to unlock chests and boxes with, The cheapest one for that is Inscription, but after that you can have basically the pick of the litter. Normally I'd say a Gathering Profession, but because you can no longer lock experience above level 59 and Herbing and Mining give experience, I suggest skipping those. My second profession choice I think is going to be Engineering on my main druid because it will give me access to extra ports around Azeroth, extra mailboxes and vendors, as well as lootering. My secondary speed druid has Skinning, so I can use her for specific skinning related farms, but if you only have one druid, it's also a solid choice. There is some debate between speed farmers over whether or not to pick jewel crafting for access to a single speed trinket. In my opinion though, the benefit of the small speed boost compared to literally any profession is not worth it. You can replace Inscription for jewel crafting, as JC can craft lockpicks to open boxes, but each pick costs roughly 30 gold on NA to make, and that's just 100% too much money to me. The trinket in question is the Figurine Ruby Hair, which is an unused trinket that gives a 30% speed increase for 6 seconds on a 3-minute cooldown. It's not the worst trinket out there, as it gives a percent base speed increase, so it stacks over speed cap, but it's such a mediocre amount with a long cooldown that it just feels wasteful to roll JC just to unlock it. To cap off the speed druid experience, a level 61 character will want to stock up on Charged Phial of Alacrity, which at the rank 1 gives 629 speed and is more than enough to max out your speed. With the use of the phials, food boosts like Bear Tartar are unnecessary, as they do not give a percentage-based speed increase, and you should already be at cap, so triggering it will not increase your speed at all. The final way that I know of to increase speed is to unlock the Heart of Azeroth trait, Ripple in Space rank 3, which gives a flat 5% speed increase, and since it's a percentage increase, it stacks above the speed cap, adding an extra 5% to the ceiling. I wouldn't recommend this for the faint of heart though, as it is PvP-based multi-week unlock. You can, however, unlock it on your main character and it becomes purchasable by your alts as soon as you gain access to the legendary cloak and horrific visions, without the alt needing to do any PvPing. If you followed all these steps and used the phial, you should be at both crit cap and speed cap, making your character somewhere in the range of 256 to 266% speed, baseline depending on your race, and access to PvP Azerite traits. This guide and gearing setup is written with a level 61 in mind, but is almost completely replicatable on a level 60, and even though you cannot reach speed cap without the phial, a level 60 should be able to get to the 245 to 255% range and be able to benefit from the Bear Tartar and Bonefish, which is nice. If you have any questions or things to add, please feel free to stop by my stream sometime, where we use our speed druids pretty regularly to farm Mog and other items to sell. Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to hit the like button. If you want to see more videos by me, make sure to subscribe. And don't forget to comment any questions, compliments, or concerns you may have down below.